Hello, this is the TradeSite Forex Market Preview and International Economic Data Roadmap for the week beginning Sunday, October 16th and ending the 21st, Friday the 21st. Amazingly, already options expiration for October. That went quick. Let's look at the dollar index daily chart closing at new highs since last March, essentially, and still even forming a bigger, broader cup formation, base formation. Looks very constructive. To the long side, we are into a seeker count because we've moved out of that. You can see the red counts going on, but we're a long way from a 13, so nothing to worry about there. Euro dollar, on the other hand, broke down a bit here, heading towards new lows for the last few months. Basically the inverse of the dollar index, as it always is. Bear flag formation on the daily chart of the pound after breaking down under that 1.28 area, 2800 area I talked about a couple weeks ago, and said that was going to lead to a big move down. It did. And now we've got a bear flag, which could lead to another break. The break of the lows here, really, that's even more constructive. Aussie is basing sideways. A couple 13 sell signals that led to declines on the Aussie over the last 8 months or so, but now set up for potentially a big move up. We'll see what we get there. Here's the pound yen, also near lows, not a big deal. Euro yen, not near lows. Euro dollar, the euro itself, obviously not as strong, or not as weak as the pound. And then the pound Swiss at new lows. And you'll notice 13 buy signal on the pound Swiss earlier this week on Monday. Also the New Zealand dollar pair, which is pretty much mid-range for the rest of the year, basically. All right, here's the euro dollar for the week. High to low, you're talking about 220 pips, which is better than we've seen in a while, but still not great. We're not quite there, but I think we're starting to see signs that the ranges are expanding. Maybe we can get back to full size. We remain half size coming out of summer still because these ranges have not been great, but this is the biggest move we've really seen in the euro in a while. And it was just a steady decline Monday and Tuesday. By Wednesday, it was over, and Wednesday, Thursday, Friday didn't cover much ground. Pound, 350 pips, just under that, pretty much that, from high to low. Again, Monday, Tuesday were the active days. Got to bounce back going into Wednesday, and by then Thursday and Friday were pretty much toast. So that's the week here in terms of the Forex pairs. Again, watch the pound. Breaking new lows could be a big deal. It is a bear flag formation. Here's a look at the news coming out this week. So we've got on Sunday night the Right Move Housing Price Index out of the UK, Japan's revised industrial production, China's money supply and new loans, Italian trade balance, CPI out of Europe, U.S. Empire State Manufacturing Index, capacity utilization and industrial production here in the U.S., CB leading index out of the U.K. Australia Monday night, CPI monetary policy meeting minutes from the last bank announcement, new motor vehicle sales. Going into Tuesday, UK does their inflationary dump. I love that they do this all at the same time. CPI, PPI, RPI, HPI, all at once. Everything you need to know about inflation comes out. I think that's the way everybody should do it. Meanwhile, the U.S. got CPI also, and that is one of our big three each month. So we would be half size. We're already half size still, but we would be half size or less than ahead of the CPI going into Tuesday. Canada's manufacturing sales, New Zealand's GDT price index, Australia's MI leading index that night, China, GDP industrial production, fixed asset investment, MBS press conference, retail sales out of China. Going into Wednesday, all industries activity, UK unemployment rate, German 30-year bond auction, UK 10-year bond auction, housing starts and building permits here in the US Wednesday morning. Bank of Canada with their rate announcement, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Australia's CB leading index. We got our weekly crude oil data here in the U.S. Bank of Canada's press conference. U.S. Beige Book, the unemployment change and the unemployment rate out of Australia. Switzerland's trade balance, German PPI, current account out of Europe, retail sales out of the U.K., Spanish 10-year bond auction. We got a rate announcement out of the ECB, it's the European Bank. Philly Fed here in the U.S., unemployment claims, existing home sales, CB leading index, natty gas, and then New Zealand visitor arrivals, not a big deal, and credit card spending out of New Zealand Thursday night. Friday's pretty much not much. Public sector net borrowing out of the UK, CPI out of Canada, retail sales out of Canada. We end it with consumer confidence out of Europe. And then after that, we got one more week to Halloween and the week after until all the time changes are in place around the world. So the CPI is the big one, although you've got the European and Canadian rate announcements during the week. So be aware of those times of those, especially if you're trading in the pair that has those in them. Charts, as usual, brought to you by eSignal 12. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will certainly help you out for a couple weeks. Have a great trading week.